Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler platter video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now where I go over there and try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm a big lover of soup. I love soup, folks. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. Along with pineapple and kickboxing movies and heavy metal music and concert. I have a lot of favorite things. But one of my favorite soups, folks, it's Chinese soup called hot and sour soup. I love hot and sour soup. It's fantastic, especially when it's done right. If it's done wrong, it's still pretty good, but, love that stuff. Now that's a thing that you know about me. So if I'm ever famous and I become like a question on, an episode of Jeopardy, it happens to relate to my love of soup, well, there you go. There you go. But anyway, I'm in the back room today. I got a Peter Can Thunderbolt poster behind me, a crappy old ladder off to the side. I got some Marvel figures up there. And folks, I'm wearing a cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Why am I talking about? Well, folks, boom! It is the Psycho Kickboxer shirt. Why am I talking about Psycho Kickboxer shirt? Because, folks, when I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the shirt anyway. But on top of that, I like Psycho Kickboxer. It's a movie from the mid-90s about a kickboxer. He's a little psychotic. I wouldn't say he's super psychotic, but yeah, he's a little psychotic. There's a whole vigilante thing going on, and there's some ass kicking, there's some gore effects. It's mostly a fun time. There's like one scene in it where it's like, this hasn't aged well. But the rest of it is perfectly solid, and especially if you like these type of movies, I'd say give it a shot. Stars four-time kickboxing champion Curtis Bush. All I'm saying. I don't know if you picked that up or not, but there is a little bouncing around going on, and I'm certain that's my cat outside my door. I have a cat now. Aside from hamsters and a hedgehog, I now also have a cat. I might be opening up a small zoo at some point in my future. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? What am I doing? Well, as I mentioned, hot and sour soup, folks. We're trying, boom! It's a drink. It's from a company called Pulp. I think it's called Pulp. Specifically, this is 100% sour, Soursop juice with pulp. I've done a couple other things prior to this. I did pineapple juice, I did melon and pineapple juice, and now I'm on to this one. The pineapple ones were easy to go with because it's pineapple. I love pineapple. I did an entire 2-part special on pineapple sodas. Go watch those videos. I don't know what the fuck soursop is. I mean, I looked it up. It's fruit. I guess it's from a pine tree, which is a little bit weird. I never thought of, pine trees having fruit exactly. I guess it looks like this. I can genuinely say, folks, I've had plenty of interesting tropical fruits in my time. Probably not that interesting, realistically. It's pretty basic for what you'd expect. I don't think I've ever had soursop, so I have no idea what to expect from this. Hopefully it's delicious and it doesn't make me break out into hives. And if it does, then you might watch me die, in which case this might become a bit of a snuff film. Nah, because I'd have to be killed. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, that has like a weird sort of piney taste or smell to it. Like it definitely smells a bit like the woods. Okay. I'm wondering if there's going to be like a lychee kind of flavor. That's an interesting flavor combination. Alright. Well, as I did with the previous ones, I'm going to mention the pulp. Especially because the pulp is very interesting in this one. The other ones was like pineapple pulp, which is, little stringy things. This is chunky boy pulp. Okay, this is your proper fat camp pulp. So it's a little bit of a thing when you go over there and get a piece of it. It's a very weird flavor. It's both pleasant and unpleasant. It it's like sour tasting, sort of tropical-ish. Maybe that's just because it's sort of an exotic flavor. And then there's also like sort of a pine nut taste to it. Like it's extremely odd. I think I like it. Like the very first hit of it is a little bit sour. And then it kind of dials back and it becomes sort of a interesting, like I said, sort of tropical tasting fruit. Not entirely on like a lychee kind of taste. Um, and then like the tail end of it, there's like a light pine taste, which is interesting because that's not typically a flavor that you associate with something you want to be eating. But it's there. It is definitely there. And I don't know that I hate it. It almost acts a little bit like mint, which I love mint. That's a thing I'm a big, big fan of. So the thing is, I like a lot of weird drinks that use like roots and like plants and stuff as like their base. Not even just like fruit stuff, but like root beer and birch beer, uh, dandelion and burdock. I actually did a review of that on the channel. Go look that up if you're interested. I like stuff like that, like earthy flavors and things. So I can kind of get down with this, and I genuinely kind of really like the contrast. I like that it has that hit of sour at the beginning, and then it's this very weird sort of. Well, at first it's familiar, then it gets weird again, and I like that. Like I like that it's a 3-dimensional taste experience. It's just it's so unusual. It's not. Now I will say this: the more I drink it, the less pronounced the sour and pine tastes are. It's becoming more of a distinctly sort of just tropical tasting fruit drink, which isn't a bad thing, but it does lose a little bit of its character. I don't know if that's just because I'm becoming associated, like I'm becoming more familiar with it, or if conversely, like if you've ever, it's definitely a thing I've experienced. A lot of times when you drink something, especially something that's been unopened, that first hit of it is like the strongest essence of the flavors. It's the stuff that's been stewing around in there. Once you get past that, it tends to kind of dial down and become a little bit more neutral. I think that's kind of what's happening here. But even as like a more stable tropical style drink, it's still actually really tasty. Like it still has kind of a mild sourness to it. It's really good. Like I went from being weirded out by it to like I really like this. Um, I'd be interested to try the actual fruit itself, provided it doesn't like poison you or something like that. I'd really like to see what this would be used in. Like not so much the juice, but like proper stuff. And the other thing is, I don't know if this is a good representation of it or not because, like with the pineapple juice that I got, or that I tried from these, it wasn't a good representation of pineapple. It was very muted compared to what I consider pineapple juice flavor. So that might be the case here. I don't have anything to work off of because I've never had Soursop before, at least as far as I know. But from what I've had, I like it. I like what it brings to the table. I'd be really interested to see it used in like a dish or something like that. And well, 2 questions have to be asked, folks. Would I try it again? Would I recommend it to other people? Yes and yes. I actually think I'm going to try to search out more instances of soursop as a thing because I'd like a greater spectrum to try it on because my immediate experience with it has been a very pleasant one and it's very interesting and I like that. So I definitely want to try more. Would I recommend it to other people? Yes. I think give this a shot. It is a little bit unusual, but I think if you enjoy tropical, sort of juices and stuff like that, I think this hits that, even if it is a little less conventional than. Because even like, excuse me, even with something like a mango juice, like mango has a little bit of an earthy flavor to it. It's like kind of a mix of tropical and earthy, in my opinion. So I think it's something worth trying. I mean, it's an interesting flavor experience, if nothing else. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. And folks, if you go over there and have yourselves a truly, I guess, soursop-tastic rest of your life. I mean, I don't know if I have enough of a consensus on it. Have a hot and sour soup rest of your life, because hot and sour soup is delicious, and like I said, even when it's not done well, it's still pretty tasty. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, I go over there, I wave my finger around, I do a thing, but ultimately I'm pleading with you. Because I feel like it's kind of the minimum requirement, right? It's like, you don't have to be nice to everybody, just don't be a dick. Don't, even if you can't put the good stuff out there, don't take it away. But we are human beings. We're going to run into instances where, we might be an asshole. When we run into those instances, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. All I'm saying. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and maybe you're going to watch this video and you're going to be like, you know what? I have to go try some soursop stuff, as I have seen Brandon do in the video that he did. And you're going to go over there and you're going to look around your local markets. You're not going to find any because it's like weird exotic fruit. But then you're going to go over there and you're going to hear tales about this little fruit vendor who goes over there and works out of a back alley who has back alley fruit. Boy, oh boy, that sounds wrong in the wrong context. But you're going to go over there and you're going to go to that fruit vendor. And you're going to go over there and you're going to be like, yo, man, you got any soursop? He's like, yo, I'll get you soursop. But it's going to cost you. And it's like a whole thing, and it like turns out that like, yeah, he's a little bit shady, but like really is a heart of gold. And he's only selling weird fruits because he's trying to go over there and pay for a kidney transplant for his niece. And, the two of you will bond, become a little bit of a buddy cop type of thing. Maybe sort of a Chris Tucker or Jackie Chan type instance, depending on your level of martial arts ability. Depends on who you get to be in that circumstance. That's all I'm saying. Or conversely, maybe just go over there and look around and, Google soursop and see if you have any available near you and, maybe make some dishes out of it or just try it and it'll be delicious. Bye.